Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to my movie review on Django Unchained. So, I watched this film a few years ago or so. I remember it pretty decently. Even though I only saw it like once, but I talk about it all the time, or a lot of the time, with my dad. And so, yeah, it's a crazy movie about a guy named Django who just gets who escapes the slavery plantation, and then he um he stumbles he then so he, Django, played by Jamie Foxx, and the dentist, played by Christoph Waltz, they are on an adventure trying to save Django's wife. And Don Stroud plays the sheriff of of the Candyland place. And and then Django, or the dentist, kills him. Don Stroud is a Hawaiian actor, for those of you who aren't familiar with him. But Django and the dentist arrive to Candyland, which is owned by a slave owner who tortures people, Calvin Candy. And Calvin Candy, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and Steven, who is one of Calvin's slaves. His slave who's in charge of the slaves. But yeah, this is one of Tarantino's best films. And he really made a guy seem horribly bad and cruel, being Calvin Candy. Yeah, so he owns Candyland, which is very strange that they would... That's supposed to be a sarcasm, because Candyland's a nightmare, when Candyland is supposed to be a good place. But he thinks it's Candyland, Mr. Calvin Candy. But this is a whole story about how Calvin Candy basically forces his slaves to fight slaves from other plantations until they kill someone, or they die in the fight. It's just kind of gruesome to think about. Literally, he makes the slaves choke each other out or something. It's like, my God. And he does it all for cash. He does it like as a bet thing for his business marketing. I mean, this is all like around the 1860s or so. 1859, 1860, around the time of the start of the Civil War, which was 1861. But honestly, though, it's crazy. But Calvin Candy was providing hospitality to Django and the dentist guy. And Steven gets all upset because he's like, why are you letting this dude, Django, why are you providing him I understand why the dentist, you would provide him hospitality, but why are you providing Django hospitality? And it's like, he was all like, you don't have to know why, just do it. And then, of course, Calvin loves his beautiful sister, Laura, who's cruel like him. That's why he loves her so much, because she's cruel like him. And obviously, Calvin's family is cruel, considering he inherited Candyland from his dad, his dad and grandfather. But so yeah, they all had a cruel aspect. But Calvin always acted like Candyland was good. I mean, he thought it, nice. He always acted like Candyland was a nice place. He acted like it was the place he got candy from, when really he did such horrible people. By candy, I mean good emotions and joy. He was tricking himself. But as a slave owner, he knew he did really horrible things. He just tried to cover it up because of the fact his place was called Candyland. But yeah, Django came to Candyland from another plantation, slavery plantation, and basically got to stay in the big house, and that made Steven jealous. Kind of mad he was getting treated, that Django was getting treated good. Samuel L. Jackson played Steven, by the way, for those who didn't know. And yes, and Samuel L. Jackson's been in a few of Tarantino's films. But what I think, it's crazy because when Django tries to rescue his wife, Hildy, Steven catches him and he tells on him to Calvin Candy. And so Calvin says, all right, you can still take her back, but tells the dentist, you must shake my hand. And then he knew he wouldn't do it, so the dentist fucking killed him. The dentist fucking killed his ass. So, and shot him in the heart. But the thing is, the dentist did not need to do that, because he already, when they first arrived, he shaked his hand, but the dentist didn't know that Candy was so horrible, I guess. I think that's why he didn't realize he was so horrible at that moment. But he should have just done it, because by shooting him in the heart, he caused a big shootout. And the dentist got himself killed, and he potentially could have put Django could have potentially died too. He really lucked out by the guys missing him and being able to dodge their bullets. Django's tough like Tony Montana. He had serious luck out moments where he was able to dodge people firing at him and stuff. And then, because the dentist killed Calvin, Laura tries to she basically is getting revenge on Django. So she, oh yeah, I forgot to say that Calvin Candy is so horrible because when slaves don't do what they're told, and Steven makes sure the slaves are behaving and doing what they're told, but when the slaves didn't behave, when the slaves wouldn't fight, like one of the slaves, he wouldn't fight anymore. He got fed to Stone Cypher's dogs and chewed the fuck up. And that was horrible. Gnarly as fuck, dude. Made me feel like barfing, honestly. But Django and the dentist saw that happen. And then Hildy obviously got whipped in the movie too. But yeah, Django came to the Candyland plantation to save his wife Hildy. But so yeah, now that I'll go back into this, that Calvin Candy, like, he got killed, and then his sister Laura is getting revenge and telling Stephen and his friend to hang Django upside down and cut his privates off, castrate him, and then when they're in the middle of it, then Stephen comes in, and when the guy's in the middle of it, Stephen comes in and says, "Hey, Miss Laura would like to see you. She changed her mind about cutting the testicles off." Oh, excuse me, I know it's a little graphic, me diving into it like this, but that's what happened. She changed her mind, and then she sent him to the work field the next door neighbor to the plantation where they worked the slaves to death. This is where Quentin had a cameo appearance. And so he was trying to make him do that, but then Django escaped from there. And in the end, he was able to save Hildy, but Django, Steven says the quote, I count 6 shots. And because it's 6 shots in the Magnum, but then Django shoots him and then lights the fuse and leaves Steven in there to suffer. And then he's all like mad at Django. He's like, you can't destroy Candyland. There's always going to be a Candyland. And then he blows the whole house up, leaving no remark. And leaves a big hole there by blowing up the Candyland house, which his wife was locked up in. And so, yeah, this is a pretty good film, and I would rate it like 8.5 out of 10. So, yeah, pretty good. Tarantino never really disappoints. He's a good director, and I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to leave a like on the video. Let me know what you think. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you with the next one. And peace, guys.